Alright, quick warning before I begin. I am currently cooking my supper, so I might have to get up and do something real quick, which is, I'll just need to turn down, cover it, and let it sit. But I'm going to try to do this real quick, because I'm on a time crunch tonight. So, Hunted is a Shudder original that I bought just because of the premise. Here's the premise in the back of the box. I'm going to read this because this is what caught me, just like with Downrange. Eve decides to let loose at a local nightclub after work one evening, where she meets a seemingly charming man who invites her back to his place. That doesn't actually happen. They never make it to the offer, but Eve quickly realizes she's being abducted as he knocks her over the head and shoves her into the trunk. That doesn't happen all at once, but of his car. As he makes his way to their final destination, they are struck by a wild boar. Yeah. Giving Eve the chance to escape. Now, Eve must find her way out of the nearby woods and flee the big bad wolf before it's too late. There's some stupid-ass decision-making in this movie by the main character, her screaming Sally here. So, yes. She's frustrated with work, and Eve, she's gonna cool off with some drinks. There's this guy that kind of gets in her face, and our villain shows up acting like a nice guy, and then one thing leads to another. They have a few drinks, they go outside to smoke, and then they start making out and head into his car, where his buddy then gets in the car and starts to drive. They knock over a convenience store or a gas station, whatever it was. And then they take off. They put her in a trunk and they take off to the woods. They hit the boar. And then she's on the run. Now, there are 2 times she had a chance to get away. Especially knowing what we know about the guy's friend later on in the film. So, she is at this convenience store. And the owner goes in the back. And where the owner gets killed by our villain guy. I don't think we ever learned his name. But she goes to leave and she sees the friend right at the door to stop her. However, we find out later he's not so into this as we would think. And I think that if she had ran towards the door and said, please don't let him do anything to me, he probably would have complied and said, okay, I'll get you out of here. I'll get you out of here quickly. Because I don't think he was into it as much as his friend wanted him to be. And I think that given a little push in that direction, he would want with it. But no, she doesn't do that because she's too afraid. Which, in that kind of heightened sense, I get that. Then, after the boar happens, she runs. And there's 2 stupid decisions here. So, she has her phone with her because they left it in the back. She has her phone with her, and she's tied up, she's bound and gagged, whatever. And she's running in the woods. Phone starts to go off. Now, here's the first thing she got wrong before I get to that. She gets out and starts running in a certain direction. Just off in the middle of the woods. Why didn't she start, and I've seen this on other movies before, run in the opposite direction of where you were going when you hit the boar. Run backwards, go back to town, find fucking somebody who can help you. You're running off in the middle of the woods, but you don't know where you're going. Because honestly, we wouldn't have a movie. But then what she does is that she has her phone and it keeps going off. Now, she decides to drop it and run for it. Because the sound's gonna alert her. Alert the bad guys. But all she would need to, because she gets out of her bindings very quickly after this. All she would need to do is find a way to shove the phone in her pocket where it'll make less sound, run off to another direction, undo her bindings, grab the phone and say, put it on vibrate first of all, and say, fucking help me. But no, because we gotta do the trope where something could happen to her phone, so she just drops it, which is probably the stupidest way to do it. I have no bars, or the phone gets destroyed. No, just drop it. It can still help you, and you do get out of your mind something longer after this, which drove me insane. And what really had me screaming bullshit is eventually she's separated from them, and he turns on his friend because his friend doesn't want to do it anymore. He turns on his friend, kills him, what have you. So eventually, she comes upon this little campsite, which I think were two people that were shown at the beginning of this. It's an old lady and her son. And he comes across the boy just sitting there listening to music. She comes across the boy just sitting there listening to music. She goes, "Help me, and I need some help." And from behind her, we see this person in a like an animal fur come from behind her, and it's the bad guy. And I went, bull fucking shit. But give the movie credit, they show us how this happened. Apparently he got there beforehand, made up some story about how he was walking his dog, and I thought, I'm like, okay, so they're very, something had to have happened where they figured out what he was doing and he went off on them, but it never actually went that way. Like he pretends to use the phone to call his wife, and then he gives the phone back to the son, and the son is looking at his phone, and you can see from his eyes there's something, he's looking at. I think he looked to make sure he made the phone call and realized he didn't call anyone. But then there's some weird line about porn that the villain says, which I don't know. Hold on. I'll turn this and I'll talk to you from over here because I need to stir this quick. And, so the mom, the old lady mom, she's asking him a bunch of questions. So you think she's gonna figure it out and he's gonna go nuts. But no, he just stabbed her with an arrow to the head. And, turn it down. And runs off. So, back over here. and not runs off, but tells the kid, "Hey, you're gonna help me," and then that's how we connect everything back together, which I still call bullshit. They were in two separate directions, and they happened to coincide to meet in the same direction. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. I kept waiting for a twist where, I guess maybe it's from watching the Mortuary Collection last night. I thought the twist with it, because it's sort of, she's wearing red, as you can see. So I thought it was going to be a Little Red Riding Hood thing, but I thought the twist was she was actually some sort of monster creature. Because I thought this was a creature form, but no, that's just the bad guy. And she was going to turn and kill him, and she was actually the villain, but no, she wasn't. Simply, he wanted to shoot a pornographic video with her buddy raping her, and then tried to put the kid in here. He didn't want to do it, and this really confused me. He shoots the guy with an arrow and then disappears from the movie. And they meet this one guy, a security guard of some sort, and he tricks the security guard into thinking that the woman was trying to kill him. So he's like, don't mess with me, and he but he sprays her with mace or something, or not tases, that's earlier, sprays her with mace or something, and, then the guy turns on him, punches him in the face, and he yells out, "I'm not kidding, my nose is fuck." Not fucked, my nose is fuck. And I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense, but okay. He then sticks his dog on him later. And this is, okay, so eventually, she corners him in this house that's for rent. And they had a little battle, and she's beating the hell out of him. And this, but he's got her cornered, and this dog that the security guard lets out runs straight for them and helps her, and then she's beating the shit out of him. And I thought the ending was going to be just as she's about to kill him, she starts to choke him, just as she's about to kill him, she gets shot by the security guard, and the guy fucking gets to survive and go on. Because a lot of movies nowadays, the villain wins, but he doesn't. He dies. And the movie just ends. I didn't care for this film. I'm not saying it's terrible. It's well done. The cinematography is fantastic. There are shots of the woods and everything is very good. The acting, I hated this guy. So he was a very good actor on that point. And I liked her, even though she did get a little over top sometimes. And the security guard guy made me laugh. Other than that, Not a big fan of this one. It's another miss for me. I'm just gonna say it's not worth your time, and leave it at that. So when it comes to Hunted, it's just not worth your time. So I got 2 more Shudder movies coming in the mail. Hopefully I'll get them before the end of October and I'll be able to review them and put out a ranking of the Shudder movies that I own. I'm gonna count Mandy in there because every time I pop in a Shudder movie, I see an ad for Shudder, and Mandy's always in it. So I'm gonna add that because I just have. So what are your thoughts on Hunted? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.